Hey yo, and welcome to my channel. I'm criscrosaplesos, and today I'm going to very quickly run down the setup I have, which is very similar to previous seasons, of how to one-shot most of the end game. We did get severe nerfs to both the Beastfall boots, Tybalt's Will, as well as our main damage output, the Banished Lord's Talisman. But even with crap rolls that I have on the gear that I have right now, and those nerfs, we can still punch out on average about 150 million damage with rapid fire, with not fully upgraded gear, not fully optimized Paragon board, and not fully optimized offenses. And what I mean by not very optimized Paragon board is I've been working on running deeper and deeper pits, and this right now is set up more for life and defenses than it is for pushing higher and higher single shot DPS. So with that in mind, I think that 150 million is a good base point to kind of show you guys that yes, even though we did get nerfed, everything still does work. Now, much like last season, we are pumping as much damage as we can into critical strike damage and overpower damage. As you can see, I've got 700 critical strike and almost 1,000 overpower. These both should be up over about 1,200 if you get gear with everything that you want on it. Like I said, my gear is not perfect. It is not even really ideal. I do have some nice overpower rolls and dex rolls on my weapons, but that's about it. So if you're new and you don't understand how the mechanics of this one-shot setup works, basically we're going to be using Banished Lord's Talisman in tandem with the Precision Keystone passive, which, because our critical strike chances are so high anyways, we get an additional 155% multiplicative damage on our critical strikes that consume all of our precision. And on top of that, we get another 48% increased critical strike damage. If it is an overpower from the Banished Lord's Talisman, we get additional damage for each point of our resource that we have, which right now I'm only up to 138. We can pump this way, way, way higher and get way, way, way more damage. And with Tybalt's Will, we're going to be doing an additional 16% total damage while we're unstoppable, because we will be unstoppable after we cast our Shadow Clone, which is our trigger for the Beastfall boots. I'm not going to go really over the gear in much more detail than that. Really, if you have rubies and you have overpower on all your weapons and get a crossbow and sword, so you have vulnerable and critical strike damage. If you have that and you've got your rapid fire up to at least level 10, then you should be good to go to start one-shotting bosses. But until you get that, a good way to increase your damage is with the Protector aspect somewhere running in tandem with the Conceited aspect for a free 25% increase to all of your damage. That does give you a little bit of a limited window, because you will only have 10 seconds to pull off everything that you need to after you first hit the boss, which the timing can be a little bit tricky, but with a little bit of practice, I promise you'll be great at it. Another great addition this season is the Scoundrel's Kiss unique ring. If you can get one of these with the max to rapid fire on it, fantastic. And the rapid fire damage would be fantastic. I don't have quite a perfect one here. And if you can upgrade it and get plus to the rapid fire instead of the critical strike chance, that would be ideal. However, just having this ring in general with the plus to rapid fire, and on top of having plus to core skills or plus to rapid fire on your gloves, is going to be a huge, 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 huge damage increase. On your crossbow, you're going to want the element aspect of the elements, because this is one of our biggest damage boosts. 60% multiplicative damage, like flat multiplicative damage to everything, is about the biggest increase that we can get now, since the Banished Lord's Talisman has been severely nerfed, and I don't even have a good roll on it. So, what you're going to do, much as in previous seasons, you're going to attack 3 times, which is going to proc a couple of different things. It's going to proc your Heartseeker, which is going to give you 15% more critical strike damage for 4 seconds, which is a nice little cheeky boost that goes on top of our critical strike damage 30% increase after we evade, which we're going to be doing as well. So that's 45% increase to our critical strike damage right there. And that goes nicely with the fact that we're using a crossbow for another 15%, bringing it up just by maneuvering and using our abilities, a 60% increase, multiplicative increase to our critical strike damage just by those three things by attacking and then evading. So you're going to attack 3 times. You're going to cast your caltrops, jumping backwards, which is going to chill the boss. Then you're going to give yourself a free 25% damage by dashing through them. That means that they will now take an additional 15% increased critical strike damage, again for 5 seconds. So that brings us up to a cheeky 75% damage increase to our critical strike damage. So once that's all done, you're going to dash through them, then evade back, giving you that critical strike damage bonus with advanced rapid fire. Then you're going to cast your ultimate, which is going to proc our Unstoppable, proccing our Tybalt's Will, and it's going to proc our Beastfall Boots. Now, if you are quick enough at this and you have good enough movement speed, you can do some movement to proc Impetus, which gives you another 15 to 25% damage, and then you let him have it. Obviously, that is not the max damage because I spread everything out, and it was not within the 4-second time frame that you want to try and get everything in. If you're on PC and you have a programmable mouse or you know how to use macros, then it's a good idea to set up that. So all you have to do is push one button and everything happens really quickly, and you don't have to worry about timing everything perfectly each time. So yeah, that's going to be it for this short little video. Keep in mind that yes, this is fairly complicated to set up. You need a lot of unique gear. You need a lot of specific stat lines on gear to really make it work. Getting your attack power up over 100,000 when you have your aspect of the elements procced is going to be very important. That is the first thing you need to do, is make sure that before you even attack the first time that you're starting the whole 4 to 5 second process just before the physical phase begins. So right about when this little moon gets to about 3/4 right there, that's when I start. That way, 4 seconds later, you still have a good 5 or 6 seconds left of your physical damage increase to get everything off. Giggity. And there you go. That was, let me add it up. 155.7 million damage. So, you're welcome, world. Stay frosty. No, I'm not going to say stay frosty. I'll see you later. Like and subscribe, please. It actually does help.